Amitabha Buddha. Hello everyone. So today I feel like talking about why migrating to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land is a much better plan than to migrate to Mars or other planets in the galaxy or even to other galaxies. So currently human beings are spending a lot of money, time and resources to try to migrate to Mars. While this is good effort to explore what's in the galaxy, but if we go with this vulnerable physical body and this unenlightened mind, we are still subject to old age, sickness and death, and all the sufferings and afflictions in life. We are not free from all sufferings and afflictions yet. We are still very much trapped in the cycle of reincarnation. The range of the cycle of reincarnation is actually quite big. It's 1 trichillion, which is about 1 billion galaxies or even more. So this I talk about it in another video. But this range is also very small in the scope of the entire cosmos. It's just like a dust mote. So what is small and big is also relative. We are still very much in the game of the cycle of reincarnation, in the game of illusion. And even Elon Musk suspected that all of this, the so-called reality, is most likely a simulation.
There's a 1 in billions chance that this is base reality.
And he also wonders what's outside of the simulation. So maybe he has not encountered the Buddha's teaching yet. So the cycle of reincarnation is indeed a simulation that is created by our ignorant mind. And that's why we are being trapped in the time-space dimension. If we are being trapped in the time-space dimension, in the low-dimensional reality, which is created by our low consciousness, collective low consciousness, time-space is actually an illusion, and time, most importantly, is a human product, because we very much constructed this low-dimensional reality with our low-dimensional mind. So we actually kept ourselves trapped in the cycle of reincarnation to experience all this repetitive and temporary phenomena, to be always subject to birth, death, old age, sickness, and to be trapped in this human body. We have not realized the true nature of who we are, which is infinite light and life. So the most important thing, the more urgent issue for human beings is rather to expand horizontally, to try to acquire more assets, more wealth, or to go to other planets. The most important thing is actually to think how we can raise our level of consciousness to be more awakened, to let go of our attachment, let go of our separation, to realize the oneness of who we all are, to realize the infinite light and life that is within all beings. And one can do that in 2 ways. First is to realize enlightenment through self-effort methods, which is very difficult. We have talked about it before. One must let go of all attachment or separation. So this is not easy to do. Another way is to rely on Amitabha Buddha's power to receive us to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. Amitabha Buddha has provided a much better solution for us to help us transcend the cycle of reincarnation, to transcend the repeated birth and death, to help us overcome the suffering of birth, death, old age, and sickness, to help us overcome all our sufferings and afflictions by simply reciting His name with faith and vow to seek rebirth to His Pure Land. This is really incredible, and we must not miss this opportunity in one lifetime. If you want to obtain immortality, if you want to realize infinite light and life that is within you and all beings, then one should kneel for and seek rebirth to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. Now, the Pure Land is not actually another planet. All these planets, galaxies, and so-called observable universe that is currently observed by the human eyes is still the 3-dimensional universe, not the real universe or the real Dharma realm in the Buddhist term. There are still many dimensions that are currently not visible by the human's eyes. Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land is actually the entire Dharma realms. The Pure Land is not like a planet with boundaries, rather it is the entire Dharma realms, which means it's the entire cosmos. It's everywhere without boundaries. It's infinite. In the Amitabha Sutra, we may see Shakyamuni Buddha told us that the Pure Land is about hundreds of thousands of millions of Buddha lands away from where we are. This is also really saying that because our mind is hundreds of thousands of millions of Buddha lands away from the perfect enlightened mind of the Buddha. So the Pure Land appears far. When our mind becomes enlightened, like the Buddha's mind, we will be able to see the Pure Land in the here now. So what is hundreds of millions of Buddha lands away can also be accessed in one instant. So dimensions can be overlapped. Time-space is actually an illusion. When we raise our level of consciousness, we will be able to raise our dimensions and we can see higher levels of existence in different dimensions. And currently, even if we go to Mars, we go to Venus, we may not be able to see other beings that live there because they could be in a much higher dimension than us. So we cannot see. Like Earth is a very low dimensional reality because of our unenlightened mind that is full of ignorant attachment and separation. Whether we go to Mars, we go to Venus, we go to other planets, if we go with the state of mind, we are still being trapped in this simulation, in this illusion. We are still being trapped in the cycle of reincarnation that is created by our ignorance, our attachment, and our separation. We are still being trapped in the time-space dimension. We will still be subject to birth, death, old age, and sickness. We have not really solved all these problems yet. We will still be subject to sufferings and afflictions. So the most important and urgent issue for humanity, for human beings, is actually not to think about how to expand horizontally, to acquire more assets, to acquire more lands, but more importantly is to think how we can actually raise our consciousness vertically, to be more awakened, to let go of our attachment, to let go of our separation, to become enlightened like the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. What is outside the simulation, outside the cycle of reincarnation, can only be truly understood by the enlightened ones. And the easiest way is for us to kneel for and seek rebirth to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land. And this will not cost you any money at all. It only requires you believe in Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land to kneel for with faith and vow, then you will be received by Amitabha Buddha at the time of death. We go with our consciousness and discard our physical body here, which this physical body is also an illusion, just temporary. And when we are in the Pure Land, we will be able to realize infinite light and life, to realize Buddhahood. And when we become a Buddha or highly enlightened Bodhisattvas, we have the ability to travel to all the worlds in the 10 directions. Whether you want to go to Mars, Venus, you want to go to all different galaxies, to enter in different dimensions, you can do. And you can have countless incarnations in all these worlds to help save sentient beings. And this is not mere fantasies or stories that's made up. This is actually true. This is the real state of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They can really do that. And you don't need to travel with big heavy metallic machines like the rockets or spaceships, which are still used by slightly lower dimensional beings. You can travel with the lotus in the Pure Land, or you can travel to all different worlds in one instant. At a mere thought, it's like teleport. You can be there, and you can have the ability to have countless incarnations in different worlds to help save sentient beings. These are clearly stated in the sutras. Shakyamuni Buddha told us, and a Buddha would not lie. Amitabha Buddha exists, and so is the Pure Land. And many people have already sought rebirth to the Pure Land. So the Buddha has already, long time ago, figured out the truth of life and the universe. And it's really not necessary to require human beings to spend so much time and effort to migrate to Mars or to other planets. Sure, it is good effort to explore other planets in the galaxy, but you are still being trapped in the time-space dimension. You are still being trapped in the cycle of reincarnation. You are still subject to birth, death, old age, and sickness. You are still subject to all the sufferings and afflictions. So this is not a final solution. If the human beings want to figure out the final solution to solve all sufferings in life, to transcend birth and death, one must look at the Buddha Dharma. And the easiest way is for us to Nianfo and seek rebirth to Amitabha Buddha's Pure Land, to realize infinite light and light there, which is our true nature, to realize oneness with all beings and all things. Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Amituofo.